So, what is the illusion of time? In one of the earlier videos, we talked about what reality is, and I mentioned that we would get back on the concept of time, and now would be a perfect moment. So, what is time? What is the illusion of time? And I'm going to be quoting some other people here who have come up with, I think, very nice metaphor to describe what the flow of time actually is. But first, we need to get back to what reality is. And reality, of course, is the energetic expression which enables the I am, the awareness, the consciousness to experience itself. And everybody creates their own reality with their own energy. And every single possible state of your reality already exists. The thing is that depending on what you focus on is what you will experience. There is no actual movement, for instance, in reality. There's no movement of time. There is a tremendous amount, a collection, tremendous amount of now stills. Brian Greene, a physicist, calls it now slices of the space-time bread. Whatever floats your boat. Darryl Anka, Bashar, has a nice metaphor. They compare it to a film roll, where the entire film and all the stills in that film are actually in one film roll. And if you look at the film roll, then you can see all the stills and all the slices at the same time. But there's no experiencing of a story that way. I mean, if you would experience everything now at the same time, your life would be very meaningless very quickly. Also, the meaning of life is a different subject as well, but you can't experience anything if you just do everything at the same time. It's like Abraham Hicks says, like eating a meal all at once. There's no enjoyment in that. So instead of sitting in the film booth looking at the entire film roll, what we do is be a spectator, use our human as a focus device, and the stills of the entire reality, the entire film roll, are being projected one after each other, one after another on the screen. So that gives the illusion of time, flow, also of consequence. And that goes very quickly. Science has discovered that in our reality, the smallest possible now slice is 1 Planck length. Small. Either call it a Planck second or Planck length. It's the smallest possible part of our universe. Which means that if you have one slice, which is here, 1 Planck length, showing my hand in this position, there are billions of other Planck lengths of now slices on which to focus before you can experience seeing the hand here. So that creates a very flowy movement in time, which is good because that enhances our experience of the flow of time and reality. Now, the nice thing of the flow of time is that it enables us to experience, like I described. If you experience all things at the same time, there's no fun in that. And in the dense reality which we created for ourselves, it can actually take some time before you experience the slices of the now of being a result from whatever you focus on right now. That could also mean sometimes that people get impatient by that. But that's a different story, because if you experience impatience, you might ask yourself in what state of being you are, that things don't go fast enough. You are an eternal being. The flow of time is the flow of time. So you may as well trust that everything unfolds the way it should. And the only thing you really need to do is experience and have fun with it. So that's the illusion of time. Now, this also means that everything, well, like I said, everything exists at the same time. So your history, your future, the history of the collective, etc., etc. Everything is there right now. And you can actually tap into that, should you so desire, because everything, like we discussed, is part of your own reality. Everything is a reflection within your own reality, made from your own energy. So you can time travel in your own reality. You can go back and forth, etc., etc. There is a time paradox, which is also an illusion. Like I just mentioned, if you go back in time, you know the grandfather paradox. If you kill your grandfather before, of course, you were born, there would be no lineage of which you could be born from. But that doesn't go. That doesn't work, because like we said, every possible situation, every possible reality has its own time slice. So everything can exist next to each other. The only thing which could be is that you create a new timeline for yourself. You choose a timeline for yourself. So if you make a choice now, or you become more conscious, or you experience A or B or C, doesn't matter, then you will actually be able to choose for yourself a different sequence of now slices, a different film roll, if you please. And the funny thing about this is that if you choose by changing, which happens billions of times per second, a different situation for yourself or a different perspective, and you change your timeline, then your sequence will change and you will experience different things. But so will have your past. Your past will have changed together with your conscious choice to change, and thus change the timeline you are on. And you don't realize this. And that's what Bashar explains so nicely, is that you actually change your history all the time. But you don't realize it, because if you're in a specific timeline and you look back, you will see a history and it will look like it has been that history all along. While as in a fraction of a second later, you can change your timeline and you'll have a different history, but that would look like the history you have had all along. So that's actually very, very interesting. I had a couple of other things I'd like to discuss, but I forgot about it right now. So I'll leave it at this. I hope you found this interesting in some way. Thank you.